We are live.
Mhm.
Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, everyone who's here, wherever you're tuning in from. For those who doesn't know me, my name is Darlene. I'm a nurse from Bohol, Philippines, that is now residing and working in the UK. I am a mom of two boys, a fur baby, and a wife of a supportive husband. For this, especially with this, yes, I am a happy online business owner. I am just what you call this. I'm beyond excited. I'm beyond excited to be introducing today's guest. This lady is not only a very successful leader in our community, she's also though I don't know her personally, it's just on the things that I've seen through our masterminds and all that. I can say that she is somebody who's always giving back to our community and always showing gratitude to everything that she does. And I have to be telling you this because I initially very hesitant, but at the back of my mind, going, just try, just try. You won't know if she will say yes or no. You won't try. So I did try inviting her for this go live of mine, and I was working. That by the time that she responded to my message, I was working, and with the kind of job I'm having, sometimes the break would be not until in the afternoon. So when I had my brunch, I was panicking, literally panicking. I had to like I was being honest with her though, because when I opened my phone on my break and I saw, oh my goodness, Mishi, I was so excited. Like, oh my gosh, she replied and she said yes. And she was asking details. And that's just showing me how I was correct with what I was saying, from how I see her from our masterminds and all that. When she said yes and asked for details, I was giving different times and different to according to availability. And then after, when this kind of business that we are wherever different parts of the world with different time zones and everything like that, and not thinking clearly. And I was like, when I was noticing that I was giving her different dates and different times, and I just had to be honest with her, like, I'm really sorry. I was panicking to see your reply. So anyway, when I really just couldn't believe it. And anyway, she's here and I'm very honored to be having this lady with us. And without much further ado, I'm welcoming Timina. Thank you so much again, Timina.
Thank you so much, Darlene. Oh my God, that is so sweet. Sometimes we don't realize the impact that we have on other people. And just hearing
Yeah.
this, it is like I honestly don't think of myself as anybody that great. Like I'm a very small part of a huge, a huge global community that we belong to, almost 60,000 people. But somebody like that, the way you're kind of reacting to me, just saying yes, it just makes me feel very, very humble. Thank you so much. That is so sweet of you.
No,
Thank you. Do you want
it's
me to
just,
just go ahead and introduce myself then?
yeah, yeah, please. Yeah.
Okay, all right. Thank you so much, first and foremost, Darlene, for inviting me and for the lovely, lovely, heartfelt introduction. I live in Canada. I live in Niagara Falls, very close to Niagara Falls, actually. And I've been in Canada about 22 years. I've been a business owner for 4 years. Originally, I am from India. And when I started this online business, I had been working in a bank for almost close to 9 years at that point. When I started this, I was looking for something like a side hustle that would eventually become my full time gig. And for me, my why was that, I have an elderly parent who lives with me, and just, the same why that most of us have got, where, we have good jobs. My husband has a very good job even now, and I had a good job too. But still, with a job, we always felt that the savings were not there. Our expenses were always more than what we made in the income, right? So that was my reason for looking. And I looked in the online space because this happened in 2020. So as you know, with the pandemic and everything,
Yes.
moving globally was the best option. So that's when I started looking for an online business. And I'm so glad I came across this on a Facebook ad group that I saw. This is back in July of 2020. So I've been a business owner just over 4 years now. And it's been one of the best decisions of my life. I feel so blessed that I found this business.
And
Completely changed my life.
yeah, and I'm just like being inspired every time. Every time you all are encouraging us to be doing or watching rather the masterminds, of which I'm really trying to do. But
Yeah,
and I have to be honest, is sometimes the push and everything is there, but the action from my end is just sometimes a problem, which I
yeah,
am really trying now. And I'm really pleased, as I've said, I'm really pleased that um, this is totally, I'm always telling them this is totally outside of my comfort zone to me now. And but I have to be doing this for if I wanted to get into that goal that I've put it for myself. And
yeah.
the action is only me. It's, as I said, the only hindrance I think on I think not think I'm sure the only hindrance for me to succeed onto this business is myself. So I just have to be bringing myself out there. And thank you so much again for always being there as an inspiration every time I open the mastermind, which you're gratefully like, this is, as you always say, this is your way of giving back to the community. And honestly, I'm I want to be you when I grow up.
So funny. That so cute. Oh my
That,
God. No, no, please. I'm not perfect either. Like, I hear you completely, especially when you're working from home for yourself. You don't have a boss, right? It's very
yeah,
easy to not be disciplined and, do the things that you need to do because we have that luxury. It's such a flexible business. So we all fall into that trap. But it's like realizing that and kind of trying to make that change is the very important part of the business, right? So that's
yes,
very important. And
yeah,
that's what we, our training even tells us that. I always feel our training is such a holistic approach where it's not just about learning about the business, but it's learning about good habits for yourself too, right? So
yes, yeah, yeah. Start from within me.
yeah, exactly.
Thank you for those who are here with us today. I know I really want to be like, I've actually set like 5 questions. I said no, bring it down to three. You're very busy, so I'll be bringing this down to three. If you don't mind, I have like questions here that I prepared. And first question, if you don't mind me asking this one, I know the success that you have in the business. You've mentioned that you initially started this business as a side hustle, and which I am doing it now as a side hustle. I love my nursing job, but I think I've done my share of my nursing and all that. The dreams that I have, not just for me, but for my family. That's why I'm like trying to be following the footsteps of the leaders like you are in the community. So I will be able to achieve what you guys have achieved already. Well, first question. What key factors do you believe contribute the most to the success of an online business?
Oh, that's a very interesting question. I've never been asked that surprisingly. What are the key factors for? I feel that especially with an online business, consistency is very important. With anything, but
Yes.
especially with an online business, I feel you need to be very, very consistent. And what I mean by that is being able to show up every day because you cannot go missing. When you're in the online space, you need to be very consistent. You need to make sure that you show up in not necessarily for a lot of time, but show up in your posts and things like that. When you are in the online space, because people are in different time zones, if you have if you do a post once a day and you don't do it as often as you should, sometimes your post can get lost in people's news feed. So,
Yeah.
having that kind of consistency is very important. The other thing is when you're working in the online space, and especially that if that is something like me, where you're working in the online space and you have your own online business, where there is so much of flexibility that you have, then the other second thing is having the discipline. I feel it's very
Yes.
important, being very disciplined, setting those boundaries, because I tell my team as well, give yourself the thing that, okay, this is my business hours every day. Like let's say if you're a young, mom of young kids,
Yeah.
they go to bed at like 9 o'clock or whatever. Then say the only free time you have is at maybe 10 in the night. I don't know. So do like 10 to 11. Okay, that's my business hours. Or let's say you have kids who are in school, daytime works for you. Making sure that you set those times aside because that is your business time. That's what you need to
Yeah.
be. And treat this business like a business, not just like a hobby. In anything, when you're doing something seriously and consistently and showing up every day, that's when you're going to see results. I always say, even if you join a gym to lose weight, if you never show up at the gym and you don't go consistently to the gym, are you going to lose weight? And then whose
Uh,
fault is that? Is it your fault or is it the gym's fault? It's obviously your fault because you never showed up. So we have a
yeah.
proven system that works, but you need to do the deed and show up for it every day. Be disciplined about it. And I feel another third thing is be willing to learn because in the online space, things are constantly evolving. and the
Yes.
learning never stops, right? So you need to be open to learning. You know, I wake up one morning, Facebook suddenly changes the whole user interface. Everything was on top with my login and everything. Suddenly everything moves to the bottom, and then you're trying to get used to the new interface. Like there's no warning from Facebook. Like, they just do these changes.
Just
You're
do as they
constantly
like.
keeping on your toes. Yeah, they're constantly keeping on your toes. Like you don't know what's going to happen next. So yeah, be willing to learn as well. I mean, this applies to a lot of other things too, but I feel in the online space, especially the learning, working for yourself, the discipline, all those things are very, very important.
Yes, yeah, agree to that. And the procrastination is just very bad, I mean, with me
Very
and
bad.
everything like that. Yeah, it's because I like this, like today I'm on a day off, so I'm trying to like squeeze and do things as much as I can with the
Yeah.
business and all that. And I know we'll be talking about like um allotting 2 to 3 hours for the business, but for me, as because it's like though I've been in the business for like a couple of years now, because of not concentrating on the business and all that, I'm feeling like I'm very behind to those people. You always tell us though, I always, yeah, like the procrastination that you say, don't compare yourself to others and all
Yeah.
that. But we have this, just some human as we are, we cannot stop it like,
You're
oh,
weak. Yeah.
maybe he or she has got this one already, but I don't. But if you go back to why it's like that, again, as you've mentioned, it all falls back to me
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
I'm the one who's not doing what I should be doing.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
no, I just remember something. Sorry, I'm very chatty. Because I remember some the last mastermind you mentioned that things you've learned so much on this one, like not just on the business side, but on the personal side as well. And then when you mentioned about your talking, and I said, "Oh my gosh, I can relate so much to that because maybe you've noticed I talk fast, and I'm learning. I am trying to copy. Like I will try to become learn to be slowly. I will at least I have the what you call this one now um I have like accepted the fact that I talk that fast. So
Well, being aware is very important. Once you become aware, so the way I'm talking right now, I talk much faster than this, and I'm
you
trying to.
mentioned, yeah.
And still, people will say that I'm fast, but I'm actually making an effort to say each word slowly. So I've done that, and I also will always, if you ask me a question, I will give you the answer, and I will stop because I've learned that we tend to. Even I would love to keep talking. So these are
Sorry.
things that I have learned. No, and and it's as I said, you learn a lot about yourself. There is so much personal growth. And so then people would tell me, you speak so fast. And then I had to like kind of slow down. Then they said, I still speak fast. So then I had to slow down even more. So it's a learned habit, yeah. But you have to be aware. Once you're aware of it, you can make those changes.
No, I was laughing. It's just I just remembered the time. Anyway, second question. I'm gonna to keep you. Okay. Is I was erasing and everything like that because I want to. Okay. What challenges have you faced while scaling your online business, and how did you overcome them when you were starting?
Um, Challenges that I face, but see, our business is a people's business at the end of the day. Okay,
Yes,
so
it is.
although we can get all the right people in there, we have to know our business a lot more because there will be all kinds of questions that you will get thrown, right? So learning the business initially, understanding the whole business, that took me some time. Even now, when sometimes somebody asks me what exactly do we do in the business, articulating that in the right way, giving the right answer, it took me a real long time because our business is very unique. So those kind of challenges came in the beginning because when somebody would throw a question at me, I'm like, I didn't know how. I mean, I would answer it, but not
Yeah.
necessarily in the right way, possibly. That was one of the challenges for me initially to scale the business and all is having the right answers. And honestly, I've been doing this for 4 years. I still come across questions that I have, like people think in such different ways and they throw such
Yeah.
different things at you sometimes, so that becomes a bit of a learning curve, and things like that were also there in the beginning. And the other thing with scaling the business is because there are so many different platforms that you can learn from. So I started with Facebook first. I did that for a
Yeah.
short while. And in our business, you will, I don't know, you've been doing this for a few years too. Things slow down in the online space, especially on the social media platforms from November, like Thanksgiving time in the US,
Yeah.
till for the whole of December. So I was doing Facebook at that time, and I realized my ads kind of had slowed down. And so then I had to learn a new platform, which was I went to YouTube. So kind of being willing, being willing to, as I said earlier, to learning. changing our
Yeah.
platforms, those kind of things. And also because we're in the online space and we are coming from a zero experience background, when you start promoting yourself on Facebook or any other platform, you're not necessarily going to have success the first time, right? So it's a lot of trial and error as well.
Yeah.
Those kind of things, especially when you're new, it can take you time. But once you find what we call a winning ad, which is getting you results, then things
Yeah.
just get so smooth and so much easier. So, like everything else, there is a little bit of a learning curve in our business too. But these were the challenges that I kind of faced in the beginning.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you.
Very
Thank you.
well.
Thank you. And just one more. What role does you mentioned it this one actually already in the first question. What role does consistency play in achieving long-term success in an online business, and how do you maintain it? And yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
So, like anything out there, consistency, like I keep saying, is very, very, very important. Showing up every day, but more so in the online space because you have a global audience that is looking for content. Honestly, when I started the business, 4 years ago, my followers grew slowly. Till
yeah.
last year, I had about 4,500 followers. Last year, I started doing TikTok, and because of TikTok, my followers are now over 16,000 on my Facebook. Now, even with these 16,000, everybody may not be commenting on my posts, but I know they're watching all my posts. And then there'll be one day somebody will message me and say, "Hey, I've been following you for a year and I saw this interview and you said this, and I really liked it. Or this is what really connected with me, or I interviewed somebody from my team because I have people in my team who cover their face, women who are covering their face, and they are
Yeah.
still doing the business successfully, and they got motivated by that person, for example. So if I don't do these interviews or if I don't show up on my page on a consistent basis, I am going to lose that audience, right? Because then
Yeah.
people are not going to keep waiting for you to show up. So
Mhm.
that's what's very important. Like any job, like if you're doing a job as an employee, you have to show up for work every day.
Yeah,
If you don't
exactly.
show up for work, you can call in sick one day, you can call in sick 2 days, but your employer is not going to say, okay, don't show up at all and I'll send you the money home. You still have to show up. So consistency is important in anything in life, whether your kids are going to school, whether you're doing a job. But in the online space, it kind of becomes harder because you don't have a boss again. So you have to discipline yourself that yes, I need to post. Now, initially when you start, you have to post at least 3 times a day
Today,
on
yeah.
your Facebook post, on your Facebook page, sorry. But then now, because I've had the page for so long, I may not do it 3 times a day, but I have to make sure that at least during the week I have a few posts going through, that kind of thing. And also, being there for our training programs, everything is constantly evolving, right? Because
Exactly. Yeah.
as I said, especially in the social media arena, things are constantly changing. So making sure that you show up for meetings, that kind of consistency is also there. These are the ways. Now, how to keep that motivation going is, that if you do these things, you're going to get the results. You always need to have a goal. If you have a goal to achieve, I feel that's what keeps you on the right path. Um, if somebody just says, I want to lose weight, versus saying, hey, I want to lose 10 pounds by my sister's wedding in 6 months or whatever,
Yeah.
3 months. Then I have a goal. Oh my God, for my sister's wedding, I want to wear that particular dress. So I want to look amazing because all my family is coming. And that gives me a goal. Then I hit the gym or harder, or I diet or whatever. So having that goal is what I feel is very, very important. You need
Important.
to have, yeah, you need to have a direction. You need to have somewhere that you want to reach, because that is what's going to keep you on the right path. Honestly, Darlene, one of the things that I tell people when they tell me, hey, I don't know anything, or I don't know English, or, I don't know anything about the online space, I only tell people there are two things you need to do to start the business. And this is what I've consistently said. If you ever see any of my lives or interviews, two things that you need to start this business is you need to have a very strong why. That's your goal.
Exactly.
That's what is
Yeah.
going to keep you on the track. That's what, if I have to pay off my debt, or I need to do this, or I need to buy a house, having that goal is what is going to keep you on your track. And second thing is being willing to learn, being coachable. As long as
Yes.
you're willing to learn, the rest, everything we can teach you. You don't need to come with any kind of experience. You don't need to, even now with our new training site being launched, all the text is going to be converted into pretty much every language of the world.
Yeah.
So, it's going to be so much more accessible to everybody. And as long as you're willing to learn, we can teach you everything else. We can't teach you the motivation, right? I can't make, you can only push somebody so much. It's their why that is going to be the fuel that's going to make them move ahead.
Exactly.
So yeah, so those are the things.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. I've passed the time. So sorry
That's
about
okay.
that.
No, no, it's a good conversation, so it's okay.
I know it's been nice having a chat with you, just like normal chat, as if I know you already from I don't know, but it's really is very good about the big why, because no matter how you push people, no matter how interested they are, because a lot of people are asking me about they're interested in starting the business and all that, but only up to that level. When I explain this, I'll ask them to watch this, but you can't force people, as you said. You can only motivate them as much, but
Yeah,
otherwise it has to be coming from us guys. It has to
it
be
has
coming
to
from the you, yeah.
totally, totally, totally. Very true. It comes from within the change.
And thank you again so much, and good luck for the event this evening.
Thank you.
And
Thank you. You have an amazing rest of your day as well. Or actually, it's the night or evening over there already,
this
right? When you
evening,
just
yeah,
yeah,
it's nearly 6 o'clock here in the evening, and thank you again so much. You just don't know how thankful I am, but words can express. But I'm really am proud and to be having you here with me in my Go
no,
Live. And
most welcome. Thank you so much, Darlene. That was really nice, and I really liked your questions. And I wish you all the very best. And thank you so much for inviting me. Have
thank
a
you,
nice
and
day.
God bless you. God bless. Bye bye.
Yeah, God bless. Bye bye. Have a nice evening.
That's
Bye
all
bye.
for everybody. Thank you so much for watching us, and for those who be watching the replay, take notes again. There'll be loads of. I'll be taking notes. I'll be watching the replay and I'll be taking notes. That's how I'm doing it. Yeah. And God bless everybody. Bye bye. Thanks again to Mina.
You're very welcome. Take care. Good night.
Bye bye. Take care. Bye bye.